Okay, I'm going to show you how to crisscross your combining capacities to make chemical compounds. And the first thing I've got shown on here is my periodic table. And your periodic table, the very first thing you need to do, and make sure you have this written, is you should be writing your combining capacities. So you should have, at the top of this column, oh, this pen's not working very well, these are 1 pluses. So these are 1 pluses. This is a 2 plus. These middle ones you're going to have to get off of your ion sheet, and your ion sheet is this thing on the back here. Okay, so if you are looking for nickel, which is element 28, you'd actually find nickel on here somewhere. There's nickel, and you'd look at your ion charge or your combining capacity. Okay, so let's see here. 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus, 4 pluses or minuses, 3 minus, 2 minus, 1 minus, and the hole punch here is going to kind of mess up my 0 for my noble gases. Okay, you need to know that. That is going to be where you're going to be picking out your ion or your combining capacities when we're going to be crisscrossing. So let's do some crisscrosses. Okay, let's say that we are going to crisscross. So we're going to find the compounds for. So find the compounds created when. Let's see. Let's go with something like lithium and chlorine. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go and you need to look up lithium and chlorine physically on your periodic table. There's your periodic table. This is the last time I'm going to change to this. You'll have to look it up yourself from now on. Lithium is here. Lithium is 1 plus. Chlorine's here. Chlorine is 1 minus. So you would go lithium plus, chlorine minus, and here's what you do. This goes here, and the positive goes there. So you get lithium. You don't put lithium with a negative, you just leave it as a 1, which in math and in science, if you put a 1, you don't put anything. And your chlorine also gets a 1. So that ends up being LiCl, 1 of each. Not that you care, but that would be called lithium chloride. Okay, so that's our first example. Let's do another example, something where it's not 1 and 1. So let's take sodium. And we're going to mix sodium with nitrogen. Okay? Now you're going to go look up sodium. It is 1 plus. You notice I put it as a 1 plus here and I put it as a plus there. They mean the same. Okay, so yeah, the 1 plus means the same thing as just a plus. The nitrogen, we look it up and you find that nitrogen is 3 minus. We take the 3 minus, and the 3 goes there, and the 1 plus, the 1 goes there. So this becomes Na3N with a 1, and you don't bother putting the 1 down. That means that you need 3 sodiums and 1 nitrogen, and they'll combine together, and they'll both end up being stable as a result. Okay, third one here. Now we're going to take, we did ones that were the same, we did ones that were different. Let's go with something a little bit different. Let's go with beryllium and oxygen. You look up beryllium. Beryllium is 2 plus. Oxygen is 2 minus. You're going to crisscross the 2's, so you'll be left with Be2O2. That's kind of right. You don't want to leave them with a common factor. So you factor out the common 2, and this becomes BeO. Okay? Let's look at another example. Let's do one that instead of factoring out just with the same number, like we would get, if we had 3's and 3's, the 3's would go away. Let's do one where we're going to get 4's and 2's. So let's go carbon and oxygen. Carbon is 4 pluses or minuses. Oxygen is two minuses. We crisscross them. You're left with carbon with a 2, oxygen with a 4, and we factor out common values, so you're left with CO2. There. We've done even, different, the same, different with a cancellation. Let's do, what can we do here? For a fifth one, let's take something else. Let's go with barium. Barium, you'd have to look up. It is element 56, but it falls in our 2+ category. But we're going to take barium and we're going to end up having it go off with neon. Okay, barium, like I said, ends up being 2+. Neon is 0. Crisscross, 0. And E2. This 0 here throws everything off. You'd say will not bond. So anything with a noble gas does not bond. We've done our crisscross to show why. So we did a whole bunch of crisscrosses. We'll do one more. That will be one that you need your stock numbers for. If I tell you that we are using something with a stock number, let's take copper 2. Okay? I'm going to use copper 2. So I'm going to do words here. Copper 2. And how about I go with, let's go with nitrogen again, because I have it up here. I already know what it is. Copper, Cu. The fact that it says copper 2, you don't actually need to look on your periodic table to know what that is. It's just copper 2+. Nitrogen 3-. You crisscross them. Cu3N2. There you go. Enjoy.